A lot of questions about what next in Afghanistan. There's currently a race to fill the leadership vacuum. With the Taliban in control, questions loom over who will lead Afghanistan next. Even as the chaos is unfolding, there's a tug of war between the so-called Afghan government and the Taliban. With the fleeing of President Ashraf Ghani, the former first president, Amrullah Saleh, has declared himself to be the legitimate caretaker president of Afghanistan. Citing the constitution, Saleh said that it empowered him to make the declaration, adding that he's reaching out to all leaders to secure their support and consensus. He also reassured people that he will never, under any circumstances, give in to Taliban terrorists and that he will never be under one ceiling with them. This declaration comes even as the stage seems to be set for Taliban co-founder Mulla Baradar to take over as the Afghanistan president. Baradar received also a rousing welcome in his hometown Kandahar in South Afghanistan. Geeta Mohan, a foreign affairs editor, is joining us live this morning with the latest updates of what's happening really in Afghanistan. Geeta, good morning. A tug of war now. You're seeing clearly some resistance being put up against the Taliban. But with Saleh now saying that as per the constitution, he is the caretaker president, which makes sense because he was the vice president. The question is whether the Taliban actually believes in the constitution.
Well, the Taliban certainly does not believe in documents and books prepared by or formulated by a government that they never recognized. So that's one part of the story. But technically, Amrullah Saleh is right in saying that if the first vice president has not left the country and Ghani has left the country with his close aides, then the government does not stand to fall him. It just means that there needs to be a replacement to the president's position and that the first vice president then becomes acting president till, I suppose, elections are held. But the Taliban and the agreement that the two sides have reached does not really speak of elections in Afghanistan. So we really have to wait and see what are the workings of and machinations of the governance style in Afghanistan is really going to be like. Having said that, this is a tough fight that Amrullah Saleh is putting up. Panjshir has always been an area, a place where you saw resistance not just against the Taliban but also the Soviets. So it is a stronghold of Ahmad Shah Massoud, the slain leader, and his son now, Ahmad Massoud. Amrullah Saleh moved very quietly and swiftly from Kabul to Panjshir, and only after a day and a half or so, he emerged, the news of his whereabouts emerged. He was in Panjshir, he is in Panjshir, and Ahmad Massoud, Amrullah Saleh and all others who still want to fight the Taliban are putting up a brave front. But it doesn't seem like they have the international community support when it comes to the back-end infrastructure, weapons, and the military support that they require. So again, he has staked claim, but we'll have to wait and see what really happens. Meanwhile, the Taliban are already not just in Kandahar. We will be seeing Mulla Baradar in Kabul very soon.
Right.
And once he reaches there, that's when we will see what the power sharing agreement is going to be like with Hamid Karzai and Abdullah in Kabul already.
All right, Geeta, thank you for those details. Yes, there's some sort of resistance from, the so-called Afghan government, but will that really yield to anything? Big question mark and a lot of doubts over that, considering the way Taliban has managed to really wield their power and show their might in Afghanistan.